So strap in here. This is going to be a big one. So we got, it came. It's here. The Dark Legion Pledge, all 30-some pounds of board gaming reboot. So this is second edition, Siege of the Citadel. Everything you can kind of see here. I mean, this is like literally, taking up the entire table right now. So this should be fun. I have no idea like how I'm going to get this apart. I think I'm going to have to take this box. Once I open the top, I'm going to have to take the box off so we can see things, because this is huge. So as you can see, this is going to be the core box, the Doom Trooper Pledge, Luna PD expansion, Brotherhood expansion, Dark Apostles, the Dark Legion bonus pack, and then the board game add-ons bundle, which has a nice limited book that they collected all of the PDFs of all the additional campaigns and things that were produced as only PDFs for the Kickstarter. They did them in print. So the only thing we're probably not going to be looking at is a lot of the chibi miniatures that they produced for this set. So that was just getting insanely expensive. I think that was another like $150 to get for the full range of, and I don't think I could actually pull off a Blood Beret chibi chibi set or anything like that. So I think there's just the one example in here that was free for the Kickstarter. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at the Edward Murdoch chibi. All right, but let's see how this goes. So hang in there with me. I can get some better video of the miniatures, close-ups and things later, but let's just pull this apart and see what kind of trouble we can get up to. Hey Joe, how's it going? Here, strap in for probably a couple of hours of me opening a board game. But just a quick little setup. This is almost 5 years in the making. The original estimated delivery was October 2016. And this almost got delivered 2019. But they had a hiccup that pushed it back until the beginning of the year. And then we all know what happened at the beginning of 2020 that shut down China. And as you can see, this is coming from China. So they had setback after setback. I mean, I think the game was literally done and they were just getting held up. And also, this is a second wave. So you may have seen people opening the core box of this already, because that all came, the core game came in the first wave. But this is everything they produced for the Kickstarter. So this came in the second wave, and it was pushed back, I think, 2 years from the first wave shipment. So I've been really excited to see this. And here we go. So let me see. So I'm going to flip this over to a side I can cut. And then we're going to see if I can... actually, I'm going to lose my keyboard, I think. See if we can cut this open. And I'm sure I'm going to dox myself. I'm sure there's an invoice right on top with all my vitals. So if I scramble a little bit, that's what I'm doing, is just trying to get that out of the way. So like I said, if you want to see other close-ups, I will get you some better video. But I thought we may as well do this on the live stream because this just showed up. All right. Well, here we go. Yeah. So nothing so far. So we're going to have, a lot of add-ons. So there's the board game add-on. You can't see any of this stuff. All right, let me just start pulling stuff out here. It's way too close. There she is. All right, so there's the core. There's the core box. I got to turn the wrong way. Whoa, yeah. So the core box, Doom Trooper pack, and it's another sealed box. Holy crap. All right. Wait a minute here. I think we should do this one step at a time. God damn. All right. This is insane. Yeah. So. So there's literally another sealed box inside that box. So let's just start with what was on top. So I believe this might have been, the reason it was on top is probably because it was first wave. Oh, I don't know. That's the board game add-on box. All right. This is a lot to get on a very small table. Here we go. All right. So this is the main event. Okay. This is not going to be even, I think, editable. So let's take a quick look. So yeah, yell at me in the chat if you can't see anything or you can't hear anything, because I'm going to try my best to make this all work. Go this way a little bit. All right. So here is the core box, and as you can see, it is not a small box. So this is probably what you've seen opened already. But yeah, it's got some great artwork on the cover and all the way around. So let's take a quick look at the back here. Yeah, so here's everything that is inside. Nice. So you've got 45 miniatures, the 15 Doom Troopers. So yeah, 15 Doom Troopers, 30 Dark Legion, 7 double-sided game boards, 12 combat dice, 5 player trays, the plastic Citadel stairwell, and double-sided game board insert, 6 standing doors, 6 standing portals, the rulebook, mission book, 260 cards, and then more than 170 tokens. So the interesting thing that didn't get included, and probably at retail is not included in the set, which was included, we'll take a look at the old version here sometime soon too, is the actual art, like the cardboard architecture of the Citadel itself. So the cool thing in that box was there are like 2 pieces that kind of you insert to make the shape of the Citadel, depending on what part of the campaign you're playing. And it's not included in this box, but it is included in the board game add-on. So they did produce it for this Kickstarter, but it's not going to be in the core box. So that was a little bit of a change, a little bit interesting, but that was kind of a design relic of that 90s original version. And that's what made it so noticeable, is when you put it on the table. There we go. A lot of horrible plastic sounds. All right, so when you put it on the table, it had huge dimensionality because you had this thing that rose up over the board itself. So, and I'll probably do a comparison video as well. It'll be cool to look at the components, because of course the 90s miniatures and the 90s tiles are very, of that time. So very exaggerated, giant shoulder pads, giant guns, and this will be a little bit more human scale. So here is the core box, Siege of the Citadel. So techno fantasy board game for 1 to 5 players. So Richard Borg is the designer, and yeah, a nice heavy box. And of course the rule book is the first thing we see. So yeah, look at all that content. So that's everything just this is just in the core box. So we're looking at, let me take a quick, yeah, we're looking at 122 miniatures total that we're going to be opening today. And yeah, so we get a little bit of a start down here. So here is, they include, so yeah, Mishima, Imperial, Cybertronic, Capital, and Bauhaus. So they give you all the 5 factions, 3 Doom Troopers of each of the 5 factions, but we get up to, I guess it's going to be 7, because they add the Brotherhood and White Star as playable factions in this second edition. So, wow, yeah, so we got the rule book, which we're looking at now, and the mission book, and then all of these tiles. And then there's a vacuum form tray that helps kind of divide components that's going to be in here. This sits on top of that tray, and then there's stickers that go on the sides of the tray to make it like a stairwell. So there's a little bit of verticality just included in here, but then the big kind of star of that original production was the kind of arcing, the little cross piece of arcing cardboard. But yeah, here's all of our tokens and everything. Let me get this, sorry, get this a little bit closer. Yeah, so here's all the pieces. That's a lot of tokens to punch out there. This core box weighs a ton because it's a lot of cardboard. So here's all the setup, and here's a quick start to just and show you. And so here's how the so they changed the dashboards a lot. They're much more modular, and you can change out. Previously, it was fixed to just the 2 Doom Troopers for whichever faction, and now you have 3, so you have a choice of the pair, and then all of their equipment was slotted in the side. So there's less graphics and more. The cards are actually the information, and then of course you got your pegs to mark your promotion points and health and everything. So yeah, so smaller. The trays are a bit smaller, but I think a bit more modular and work a little bit differently. And I think more of them will fit on the table. And here's what a setup is going to look like. So the tiles together, and here's the dice. So I didn't order any extra dice because they are the same dice that they produced for the original version. They didn't change the dice design or anything. So I've got for Blood Beret and then the original Siege, I've got a bunch of these. So we should have plenty of dice for everybody to play with. And then their overview of play, movement. Nice. Yeah, we'll go over rules and things later. Just give you an idea of everything in the rule book. Nice. Yeah, they include a lot of the art that was produced for the RPG. There's some good stuff. And I like the look of the cards. And they do more icons for showing you things instead of having to spell everything out. I think the previous cards are a little wordier. And this, yeah, the weapon art that they did for the RPGs. Yeah, but yeah, charts like that are a little easier to identify. And then you've got icons to remember what the different values are on the cards. Oh, that's right. And they include, there's an AI kind of solo deck that runs the Dark Legion for you if you just want to play a solo game. Because I think what happens is players take turns. The control of the Dark Legion goes around the table, so you all take turns controlling the enemy. And there's a little summary of everything. All right, so that was the rule book, and here is our mission book. Right, so we won't spoil. So yeah, there's probably several, 3, 4, 5 missions in that first kind of basic, and here's a second. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. And here's the corporations with the updated 3rd edition Modiphius icons. And here are all of our Doom Troopers. So Valerie Duvall, Carl Lind, and Max Steiner. So I think Carl Lind is new. In first edition, it's just Max and Valerie. So Mitch Hunter. Oh, and I think they're kind of giving you more of a gender variety too, because here's Angelina Drake and Big Bob Watts. So I think it was just Mitch and Big Bob in the first edition, and then Coral Beach, Vince Diamond, and Lori Faust. Yeah, they're giving you a. There's at least one female Doom Trooper now in everyone, and that's the thing that Mutant Chronicles really didn't have a problem. As far as like the genders were represented pretty fairly, a lot of the named characters and everything. And so you're obviously seeing they're able to easily do that in this version. So for Imperial, we've got Sean Gallagher, Edward S. Murdoch, who we'll see a chibi version of soon, and then Selena Kingsfield. Nice. And then Mishima Oshiro, Makiko Tatsu, and Tatsukage. Nice. Those are all of the included. So that's the 15 Doom Troopers that are in here. And here's all the Kickstarter backers. Oh my. We'll find ourselves in there someday. Nice. What is... Oh, here's a sticker. So this is the sticker sheet for the vacuum tray, which I'll show you. It looks like it's going to be on the second layer. But yeah, slightly different. So I think the steps have a different width. But see, you can get the little stone feature there. Hey, how's it going? Yes. Oh, great. Yeah, we're definitely going to make more videos. So we just released our sixth lore video, which was the Cybertronic Rising. So take a look. Yeah, take a look in the info for this stream. There's a link to the playlist of the videos we've made so far for Mutant Chronicles. And yeah, we don't plan. It's pretty much an endless lore. So we're going to keep making videos, kind of spotlighting and focusing on individual characters, individual settings, and different events. So there's a lot more to come. All right. Yeah, nice. I am not complaining about the look at that. Yeah, the detail is nice. Always on the bigger board game figures, you get some nice detail. So that is looks like a Praetorian Stalker, and here are all of our Doom Troopers. I'm gonna have to remember how all of these go in here. Well, I guess I've got them on video, how I took them out. Nice. Yeah, let me stand up a bit here. Wow, yeah. On a couple of the videos I saw, maybe it was just a soft focus or whatever, but they looked very board gamey. But these are actually, the detail's surprisingly tight on here. I did see somebody too that took them off these colored bases and put them on clear acrylic bases, and then just did the like an edge color for the faction. And they look nice. I mean, you're going to see the artwork from the tiles through them. So that sounds kind of tempting. Although I don't know if I'm going to have any luck gluing them to acrylic bases without that fogging thing happening. So here's our Imperial trio. Wow. Yeah, everybody looks great. Yeah, they definitely... I mean, they're board game miniatures, but the quality of board game miniatures has really picked up. Yeah, I've got a couple of games with some pretty weak, like early 2000s, kind of melted wax looking detail, but these look great. Just pull everybody out. Yeah, it doesn't look like... I mean, I'm really surprised too. Look at how stiff the... there's not a lot of hot water straightening we need to do. I mean, I think maybe this guy, maybe our Stalker, his scythe, that looks like it could be straightened with hot water. But everything else is surprisingly straight. Look at that, like the bayonet on that gun. That looks great. And that's a pretty dynamic pose for a board game piece. Look at his one point of contact on the base. Damn. Yeah, so here's Imperial. Oh, nice. Yeah, so here's he needs a little straightening, but nothing bad. And the detail is really good. Sorry. Let's get our last Cybertronic out of there. That looks like Vince with his bulging physique. All right, who was white? Mishima. Looks like they were the white base. Yeah, look at that. Look at her sword. They came out, yeah, surprisingly straight. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. I mean, that's pretty remarkable for a board game miniature to not. So that means that when they cast them, they didn't, they waited the proper time and got them all taken out, as they were cooling down. Because when they take them out too hot, that's when you get all that weird curling. And depending on the season, that they're produced during. So we may not see this, depending on when the other miniatures were produced. We may not see this all the way through. But at least for the core box, they produce the miniatures really well because they're not all that crazy warping. So they chose a decent material, and it was, produced well. They pulled them out of the molds with the proper timing. Yeah, these are going to paint really, really nice. These are going to paint up great. I can't wait. Wow. Yeah, so this is Bauhaus. Looking really good. Yeah, I'll do some 360s of these, maybe each group, like in their little, and turn around so you can see that detail. Although with the core set, I think that's probably been done already. And here is our nice, it looks like our beloved capital. Is that Big Bob? Yeah, Big Bob isn't that big. So that's a little bit different. So they went for a more human scale. You know, they're not that crazy heroic scale that the 90s stuff was. Because look, you know, their shoulder pads are actually like something a human could actually wear. And it's pretty cool. Yeah, so Mutant Chronicles was the first 2D20, the third edition of Mutant Chronicles was the first 2D20 system that Modiphius worked on. And it's a great setting. I mean, it's a really, really great setting. They did a lot to develop it, so there's a real range of types of campaigns that you can run in there. And they also did a Savage Worlds conversion. So if you don't like the 2D20 or you haven't played it, you're not familiar with it, but you know Savage Worlds, then you can do then there's a conversion to play Mutant Chronicles, the whole setting in Savage Worlds. But yeah, we really like it. We played through the beginning of the Dark Symmetry campaign, and this is going to give us, the Luna PD is going to give us miniatures for every character in there. So we're actually going to have now miniatures. So it might be worth replaying through that with another group. So here's the baddie. So it looks like a Heretic and a Razide. It's pretty, yeah, I don't want to get too close here so I can keep in focus. But the scale is nice. It's not ridiculously monstrous. And here was our whoa. Oh, here we go. And here's our Necro Mutants and Dark Legionnaires. Yeah, the detail is great. I was really worried, you know, when you're only seeing the 3D renders of things, you have no idea like how the final plastic was produced. But these look great. Really, really happy with how these turned out. And so here is our, yeah, this is our big bag of Necro Mutants. And so let's see. We're looking like we've got similar sculpts, so everything is looking pretty similar. And in the game itself, you know, you're putting these on and taking these off the board a lot. So sorry, I'm popping my, I don't have my pop screen on the microphone. Hopefully it's not too annoyingly loud. So it looks like we're all the same sculpt. So these are sculpted all the same, but you're getting, these are guys that kind of come off and go on the board again and again. So a big old bag of Necro Mutants. So these are just kind of corrupted warriors. So everybody that they kill, they basically just resurrect. And here's more of the Legionnaires and the big baddies, another Razide. Yeah, so they have an example of, like, I guess for easy access. Yeah, so here's another Razide. So same sculpt for all of those, and it looks like for the Legionnaires. Oh, we've got a couple. Well, here's the Heretic, and then the Legionnaires themselves. So those guys will be the same sculpt. Yeah. So each enemy type, they didn't do a variety, but the detail is great. It's really nice. I mean, these are going to paint up surprisingly well. I can't wait to see what they look like, or at least get them primed so we can see some of that detail. All right, so that is everybody. So that's all of our miniatures for the core box. So let me see if I can get this tray out of here. And I'll get some better video of the detail of these. Oh, and then we got a couple of the big guys. So the Ezagul. Wow, that is, yeah. He looks like about the same scale, even though this is more human scale for these miniatures, more realistic. He looks like they got him to be the kind of two figures high scale of the original. Lots of nice detail. These big miniatures have so much excellent detail. Oh, and here's another big stalker. So it looks like the same sculpt. And it looks like his scythe is doing a little bit better. Not as crazy bent. Nice. So our two guys. Yeah, it looks good. And here are the dashboards. So these might need a little bit of, because it's black, yeah. Maybe hitting those with a metallic marker or something will make them a little easier to see. So you've got health for each of your Doom Troopers, and then the promotion points, which are basically the XP, like allows you to level them up. Yeah, so they're a bit smaller. The previous ones had a real wide frame on them, and so the card was permanently seated in there, and then on the card itself, you're actually putting the pins in. So these are a little bit more low-key, but many more of them are going to fit on the table and around the board. So yeah, they're nice. And then that means I can produce. So here you go. Here's your pins that mark everything. So those go in each of the slots. So you got what, 4? Oh yeah, so I guess they're color coded. Yeah, so you're looking at the color of each faction and basically 3 pins each, so you can identify, who's playing what faction very easily, which I think is a carryover from the original version. Oh, here's our dice. It's a little bit different colored plastic, and the red is less vibrant, but otherwise the same design, the burst and the blank sides. So if you have the original game, you've got a lot of dice. All right. So let's pop open some cards here, and I'll go through. I think these are all the character cards. So these are what slot into the boards, and I guess I can just show you that. This is the part I always edit out of the videos. It's me ripping up plastic off screen. All right, so here, I'll just open these so you get a look. So yeah, so it looks like the exact same scale, dice, and nice weight, that composite. Or acrylic, I think these feel like acrylic. But yeah, nice heavy dice like before. So I think except for the red, they're almost identical. The red is a little more subdued in the new version, and the old one is just a kind of bright primary red. So here are our cards. So here's the bounty card for the Praetorian Stalker, the Nephirite bounty. So the Nephirite is this guy. I think we pulled him out before. Oh, did I lose him? Yeah, so the Nephirite is the kind of the big bad leading all of the Dark Legion. The Ezegul is this guy, the two-story monster. Yeah, so these look like all objective cards. And here we go. Here's the art for the character. So as you can see, this is what slots in to the board. So there, if you're playing Bauhaus, there's your 2 characters. So Valerie and Max. That's nice. They easily go in there. Oh, nice. And they even have their faction on the back, so it's really easy to see who you're choosing from. And there's Carl with his lovely helmet, crested helmet. Yeah, so this is, and this is updated. Yeah, this is updated card art. Some of it is, there's some classic. There's Big Bob's classic art from the Capitol. Yes, it looks like a mix of the classic kind of Paul Bonner art and then some of the updated, because I think it's some of the newer characters that they brought more to prominence. Some may not have original 90s art. So Coral Beach for Cybertronic, Vince Diamond. Yeah, look how huge he is in the art. So they did give him a more realistic scale in the miniature. Laurie Faust. Sean Gallagher. This is all classic art. Edward S. Murdoch. Selena Kingsfield. Makiko. Tatsukage. Oh, yeah. So there's all your Doom Trooper cards. So that's what goes on your board. And then here is all upgrades and things. Lucky Charm, Doom Trooper Tactics, Fast Reactions, Initiative, Honorable Sacrifice, Focus, Momentum, Cyberlock. Nice. So the cards are not super thick, and they're not the they don't have the linen like if you're used to Fantasy Flight production. They don't have that linen texture on them. So these feel like they're gonna need to be sleeved, but to keep them from getting bent up. But still, they're reproducing the color well. A little shiny, as you can see, a little kind of semi-glossy. So here's, equipment. So targeting eye, security report. Sorry. Teleportal. Remote hack. Upgraded Violator Sword. All right. Upgraded Deathlock. Violator combo. Upgraded Talon combo. All right. Legionnaire Frenzy. So yeah, here's reinforcement cards, so that you'll have to draw these every round to see what horrible thing happens to you as you're fighting through this. So Legionnaire Frenzy, Razide Frenzy, Mitosis, Berserk, Unholy Transformation, Surrounded, Defensive Upload, Flickering Light, and the Legionnaire Cohort. Yeah, so here's more Century Cohort. So it's like more reinforcements. Yeah, Advanced Guard. Ooh, Headshot. Hackmaster. These look like, qualities. Yeah, bonuses. Oh, so Briefing. So yeah, so these are, I think like previously, like those other ones that we looked at, these are objectives. So success, you get promotion points. Failure, you lose. Wow, you lose promotion points. Don't want to do that. Nice. Yeah, so the cards are decent. I mean, they look nice, but they're definitely going to need to be sleeved. It looks like they're a nice standard size, though, so that's not going to be the most difficult thing in the world. Okay, so let's see if I can get this out of here, because next is the tiles. Whoa. So this is... This is what's weighing everything down. It's a big old pile of cardboard here. And more off-screen cutting. Yes, this is going to be tokens and tiles for days. Nice. Yeah, and so similar. So, yeah, nice quality. So they don't have the linen finish on them, but they're nice and clear. And not too shiny. So they're not super glossy. And everything's two-sided. And as you can see, they did a little bit larger. The original tiles, I believe, are inch squares. And this looks like 1.5 inches. So the miniatures fit comfortably in there. So the bases are probably closer to 32 as opposed to 25 millimeter. So they did bigger squares. So the board itself is overall going to be bigger, but things are going to fit nicely on there. So yeah, that looks good. So let's take a quick look through the tiles. I'll try to tilt them so you don't have to lose any detail to that glare. And they've got walls marked really clearly on there, so that's good. You can actually see exactly what you're dealing with as far as like what's blocking line of sight and everything. Yeah, and nice vibrant colors. Yeah, really nice detail, and I like that the blocking walls are really clear. That white is really sharp. Sometimes it's just black lines or things that you're like, is that actually, you want something three-dimensional because it's so poorly marked. But yeah, that's really clear. Nice. And I believe there is a reprint in this entire set. There's a reprint of maybe the Dark Legion campaign. They printed the tiles twice because I think there was a misprint. So I'm going to get 2 sets of those. But they also have rules. The nice thing about this is they also have rules to use these tiles for the RPG. So you can, oh, here we go. So here's the insert. So here's some tokens here, but this part is the insert that goes on top of the vacuum tray to give you your steps. So as you can see, here's the all of the dark symmetry, the Dark Apostles symbols. And so this is going to be an altar, which is where you're probably going to be facing things down, because the idea is the Citadels, the main thing that the Citadels are is they're launched as ships into the planets, and then it's kind of like a organic metal, possessed dark dark energy that grows these Citadels out of these ships that are crashed into the planet side. And then inside the planets, the Citadels, once they're embedded in the planets, the Citadels have portals that connect them. So they bring their forces through these portals. And also that's how the Dark Apostles, kind of the big bads, get through. So I'm sure this is going to be a commonly used. That's interesting. So it's very visibly, they're putting the number on each of the tiles. So it's not like they're doing little tiny marks on the edge. On each one of these tiles, they put a really big, whoa, here we go. Identifiable number. So there's a 12 and a 4. So they're like painted on the ground, like they blend them into the artwork. So you very easily know, you're on tile 8, you're on tile 4, you're on tile 15. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice. But I think it works visually pretty well, because then people can see from anywhere. The setup is going to go pretty easy, because that's tile 7, this is tile 15. Setup's going to go a lot quicker. And it's not distracting, because a lot of the times they do a nice job of making it just, so it would be as if a level or a sector number would be painted on one of these floors. Yeah. And these are usable for the RPG, so that's nice. A lot of these, because we're going to have tiles for everything. We have tiles for Luna. So this is just, what would be the interior of a dark Citadel. Here's our boards and all of our counters. Wow, we got a ton. We got a ton of counters. So I think these are going to work for activation. I think you're pulling tokens out of a bag or flipping over tokens to see kind of initiative order. Yeah, but these look nice. Yeah, so not quite as thick and glossy as, say, like the reissue of Space Hulk, but Space Hulk has really, really high gloss. So they're a little bit distractingly glossy. So not quite that thick, but definitely, definitely works. Nice, they got a nice bright print quality out of there. There's nothing cheap looking or nothing faded about that. They're really brilliant. The ink on those is really brilliant and easy to read. So part of our hundreds of tokens. Yeah, and so you can show where you're coming in and out of different tiles. So when you're marking, like, you have to exit an area, or where things are going to spawn, like where reinforcements are coming in. Sorry, I'm doing all this backwards. There we go. Nice. Lots of tokens. Here's 2 and 10. Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's got a nice depth to it. All right. And wonderfully, they give you bags for all your tokens, so you can divide everything. This is great. The thing that most modern board games do is they just give you the plastic bags, so you're not hunting them down yourself. So here is the ton of cards. So you think we saw some cards before. So that was the Doom Trooper, and then some of the others. And yeah, let me just give you a quick, this is what I was talking about. So here's the last vacuum tray, and if you reverse it, there we go. There's our portal. So let me see if I can fish that tile back out for you. Yes. Let's see. Here we go. So we'll do a little quick assembly here. So this pops out and sits right on top. I think, yeah, the previous one was cardboard as well. So there you go. So right out of the part of the tray of the board game then becomes a centerpiece. So this is going to be, and this is the same dimensions as the tiles. And so this is, tile 8. And once you have stickers here and then on the sides, you have a little bit of three-dimensionality, a little verticality in the board game. And that comes from the original version, that little trick. So it's cool that they duplicated it, and I love the symbols, the burning symbols of each of the Dark Apostles on there. That looks great. So that's what that is. I'm not going to take oh, actually, I should flip it over, shouldn't I? Or these might fit. The cards may fit all in that one spot, maybe. This is going to be really fun to put back together. And I don't know. I mean, I've got so many. So a lot of the expansions, they did the standard kind of expansion. I think that's a kind of a retail gimmick anyhow. They want to make things the same size. So they do the big vacuum trays. But they've only got like 3 miniatures in them and a little, like a little handful of cards. So here's more of the reinforcement. Legionnaire cohorts. Centurion. Oh, these guys, that's right. Centurions. That's what these guys are. Not fanatics, there we go. Legionnaires. So here's all your Razide. Here's all your reinforcement cards, and they're all Algaroth. Yeah, so I think in the original, that's who you're dealing with. You're basically just dealing with the Nephirite and the forces of Algaroth. So here's all your Algaroth reinforcements. And then here is more of the... Oh, these look like negatives. Draws many force cards are there. Close combat phobia, dark teleportation, temporary defensive systems, close combat frenzy, mental block, necro frenzy, dark energy wave, intercepted orders, dark influence, magnetic strains, combat neuroses, corrupted equipment. These look like very negative defensive spike, legion charge, fallen friend, Razide fear, eerie silence, moment of respite, twin terrors, Nephirite rifts, Azagul attack, and here are more equipment, tentacle kits. Yeah, so these are a lot of icons instead of having to spell out things with a lot of text that might have helped them if they're going to do multi-languages too. That helps to less to translate. Oh, and so yeah, we're going to be doing. So we already did a Spanish language for the first episode of the lore series, and just got in touch with someone that's going to do a Russian voiceover. So we're going to try to do as much multi-language for our lore series as possible, because there's a lot of different countries that are fans of Mutant Chronicles, because it was originally produced by Target Games in Sweden, so it got EU releases. So it'll be fun to get as much... Oh, so these look like directions and where things are happening. Yeah, in each of the factions. Yeah, or maybe these could be AI. Yeah, I think these are the AI cards. They seem to be giving us directions to do things and priorities and things. So this may be, just from the look of that too, that's a very AI-looking icon. This may be what you use to control. If there's no other player, you can just use these cards to control what the enemies are doing. And here's more of these negative, or just the events. Gun turret trap, tentacle trap, symmetry burst, shrapnel burst, doors open, doors open. That sounds like a positive. The doors have opened. Nice. And more equipment. Yeah, so these are obviously things you can find and upgrade. So plenty of tentacle kits. Punisher short sword. And so I think all the characters, your Doom Troopers, will have their standard equipment. So they might represent them with these cards. Plasma carbine. Alright, Manus kit. Violator sword. Deathlock Drum. Gehenna Puker. Nice. Gehenna Puker. Punisher combo. Tentacle combo. Yeah, so these might be the standard equipment. Violator combo. Manus combo. Nimrod auto cannon. Make sure I get these tilted. Okay, so they're readable. Coagulant auto injector. Command helmet. Smoke grenade. Smoke grenade. Time bomb. Grenade launcher. Explosive ammunition. Laser sight. Glyph decryptor. Security download. Cybernetic power arm. I think that... Oh, no. It doesn't say. Anybody. Only chain blade. Dark energy shift. Combat medic. Neural jack. Disruptor. Molecular phaser. Rune scribe pummel. Looks like an upgrade. There we go. Molecular phasing. These look like more abilities. Firestorm. Oh yeah, play these cards. Oh yeah, cartel icon on the back. So maybe these are cards in your hand you can actually play. Yeah, play this card immediately before making a close combat attack. These look like cards in your hand to try to give you some bigger effects. Limited teleportation and medic. Nice. We got one more, so I think, oh yeah, a little bit more of the ability cards here. Wow. Yeah, so this, for the core set, this is a lot. So this is, there's a lot going on already. So here, yeah, here's more cards for your hand. Knock knock, medical injector, dud round, motion detected, parry, false event, legion overload, close quarters, coming through, and more. Ah, special abilities, yeah. Corporation special ability. The team may re-roll on one unsuccessful roll. Yeah, so here's abilities. Looks like based on faction. So these are all Bauhaus. There's some capital. Nice. And so, yeah, easily shows you what you're going to roll. White, red to red, one white. Cybertronic, Imperial. Yeah, so everybody's abilities. And, oh, corporation reference. There we go. So here's a little reference card. So quick start. Oh yeah, so it gives you the equipment. So Max and Valerie, this is the equipment they start with. And then this is just a quick reference for how the turn order goes. So yeah, each of the corporations. So we've got Bauhaus quick start, Capital quick start. Yeah, so I think these are the default. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that's not the default pair. But this is probably what they're saying, like recommended pairs. That's definitely the classic Imperial pairing. But there we go. And here's the Dark Legion AI decisions to tell you how to run the AI deck. Wow, so a lot of reference cards. Yeah, map of the Citadel. That's good. So yeah, these look like more objectives like we had before. Map the Citadel, capture the alien specimen. Support examination, follow your orders, destroy the Legion, disrupt the Citadel, prepare for main attack, reverse engineer, prove your worth, bloodthirst, clear path, convey importance. And so, yeah, there's your success and failure awards too. Take all credit. All right. That'll be the constant capital strategy. Take all credit. So that is it. So that's just the core. And so this is probably stuff you've seen before. This is what's been out for a couple of years in the first wave of this. But we're just getting started. So that was almost an hour, 50 minutes of just looking at what has already been out. But we're going to build on this. So this is the core that we're building on. And everything else is going to support this. So I have no way to get this all back in here. So I'm just going to kind of fake it here so we get the table space back. But Wow. Let's go with this in here first. And these guys in here. Yeah, so it's a very hefty box. So I'm not sure what the retail is going to be for just this core set, but it's a lot of miniatures, and this is the full game. So this is basically, not including expansions that came out in magazines and things that were released in support of this game. This is the original complete experience, minus that, like I was saying, the cardboard kind of architecture, the interlocking pieces that came out for that. So that is the core box, and basically the experience that you would have with the original set, but they did so much more for this Kickstarter. So we've got a lot more to look at. So let's start with, I don't know, should we start with this? Sure. The board game add-ons bundle. So this is a lot of extra stuff. It's pretty heavy too, so I think more tiles and things. So board game add-ons. So this is, I think, all Kickstarter stuff, because this doesn't look like, retail boxing. So we're going to see some of the other expansions that have obviously they're going to be produced for retail. The Brotherhood expansion and things have their full color boxes, but these are just the plain brown boxes they produce for Kickstarters. So let's see. Oh yeah, so these are more of the figures that they made. Let's go this way. Oh, so another big vacuum tray. Oh, I think that's, those are 2 layers. Oh man, this is so clumsy. Oh yeah, that's right. So underneath are the tiles. So on the vacuum pack, we've got more miniatures. Who is that? Is that a White Star? Yeah, so who? Oh, actually, we can just take a look at the cards and tell you. So it looks like we've got another Bauhaus. So who do we have? We have another Bauhaus. And, this is interesting. These cards are a little bit different quality. So, wow. These are coated. All right, let me get these on camera. These are coated a little bit more heavily. So the quality just boosted up here. That's interesting. So these support cards, these feel a little bit thicker. So here we go. So we've got Bauhaus extra characters, the Blitzers and the Mortants and the Hussars, the Juggernauts. Wow, this looks like this is a lot more of the kind of Warzone level factions. Oh yeah, so these are the bonus. Like here's the Tsarina for White Star. So White Star looks like they're going to be blue. Yeah, the Tsarina they produced. And, the little, the reporter dude from the Golgotha comics. And, and here's, Cardinal Durand. They did a figure of, and who is she? Is this a, nice. Yeah, so we've got cards for all of these different units. So there's the Banshee Linebreakers, Free Marines, Wolverines, Iron Lady, Light Infantry. These are all for Capital. Heavy Infantry, Henry Thomas, the Sea Lion. So this is artwork. It looks like, there's the Immortals for Cybertronic, Chaucer, Dr. Diana, Evrenser, Machinator, Peter Diamond, Armored Chaucer, Attila Mark III, Enhanced Machinator, and Mishima Nozaki, Screaming Devil, Shadow Walker, Shiro Ronin Samurai, Tatsumoto, Haruko Hatamoto. Yeah, it looks like these are miniatures. Yeah, so maybe we're getting those in the... I probably did this out of order then. The Demon Hunter. Benjamin Taylor for Imperial, ISF, Pathfinder, Headhunter, Morton, Docken Fist, Sheila McGregor, Andrew Drugan, Francis Kemp, Life Dragoons. There's Dominic. So there, yeah, here's his, so here's Brotherhood characters. Inquisitor, Hamilcar, Inquisitor, Vestalora, Crucifier, Holy Sentinel, Elite Guard, Trooper, and Visionary. Wow, so we've got a lot of unit cards, but yeah, just a small number. And here's the defensive turrets. So I think we saw those as a... so these are, yeah, additional board game produced cards. There's the Tsarina. Yeah, so this is giving you, yeah, not the full faction. So I think there is another faction for... interesting. So is this... No, this isn't going to be Victoria. Wow. So yeah, let's just bump things up. And yeah, this looks like the character card for to play the Tsarina as a White Star Doom Trooper. Yeah, so I think the two of these are kind of combined. I'm just opening them in kind of a random order, but we're going to see the combination. Yeah, these are, they put a little different coating on these cards. They're a little bit heavier. So there's the Tsarina for your White Star faction. And yeah, some more. Oh, so these are all White Star abilities. Nice. So White Star abilities, yeah. So there we go. So that's all for White Star upgrades. And let's see what these guys are. Wow. So here we go. So these guys are Spend a Dark Legion. Execute. So Sean. Oh, that's the reporter dude. Yeah. Sean D'Armato, Major Tang. There's Cardinal Duran, the 17th. And then what are these guys? Oh, yeah. So here's the Brotherhood. So I guess this expansion is giving us, yeah, ability cards for Brotherhood and White Star. So there's all the abilities. Sorry, so we'll do that real quick. So Prominence, Armor of Faith, Inquisitor's Strike, Echoes of Divination, Wings of Purity, Edge of Zeal, The Calling, Weight of the Chronicles, Shield of the Brotherhood, Final Sacrifice. And here's all of our, yeah, Brotherhood cards. So who are these guys? I guess they're extra characters. Sorry, we'll go through the abilities too. These are the White Star abilities. Sorry about that. So Blizzard, Cry of Frozen Waste, Unflinching Spirit, the Tsar's Lineage, Blinding Visage, Strength of the People, Glory and Rampage, Northern Heritage, Spegnas, Barrage, Aegis Motherland, Aegis of the Motherland, and then those abilities. And then our last, this is quite a big tray for just a little bit of what's going to be in there. But I guess it's better, yeah, they are well protected. And like I was saying, yeah, the same thing, none of them need straightening. They all look pretty good. So here is Cannon Fodder, the Horror, the Terror, Alkai's Forces, Legionnaires, Neurocharge, Bigger and Badder, Lunar Invasion, Special Forces. Yeah, so these are Dark Legion resources, and then Eventless. Darkness Spreads, Predictable Symmetry, Beginning of the End, Siege Happens, Doom Troopers, Dark Legion Boost, bring him in. Citadel Lives, Nebulous Sight. So here's another optional special rules. Oh yes, a mission generator. So these are the mission generator decks. That's right. So they produce these so you can kind of automatically produce a mission easily. And then here's objective cards for those missions. So instead of playing through the ones in the book, you can kind of mix and match these to give you a unique mission to play. Yeah, and then here's the how this should be laid out. So these are, yeah, the tiles for the mission generator. So they show you all the tiles and where objectives and things would happen. Yes, this is the mission generator deck and the layout. So yeah, so you're choosing which tiles and how they're laid out, and then what your objectives are. So this deck will create missions. Once you've played everything that's in the books, you can dynamically generate them with this deck. And one more is the who's left in here. Looks like maybe more support for the existing factions. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll give you a better look at the miniatures with some recording off the air, but here's the Imperial, Regia, Victoria, and Paladine. So some Imperials, so Might of the Chosen, Diversity is Power, Unity is Strength, Brennigan's Support, Bartholomew's Aid, Fury of the Gallaghers, Murray's Luck, Dakenfist's Boldness, Honor of the Paladins, Tools of Either House. Yeah, so these are additional abilities for Imperial. Nice. Yeah, so here's the miniatures that we saw. Yeah, so people look pretty good. Yeah, the detail is surprisingly nice. Oh, and this is the book. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I might be doing this a little out of order. I should have maybe done Doom Trooper bonus pack next, but here are some tiles that may or may not. So here's 67. Wow, 67, 68, 69, and 70. So yeah, these must be for additional missions. But yeah, nice artwork. It's getting pretty high in the numbers here. This, look at, wow, this thing is huge. Oh, that's so cool. They made it the same scale as the tiles. So to go back, we go back into the box. Wow. All right. Whoa. So this is the collector's edition. So they published this. I'm not sure. It's not. Oh no, it's got an ISBN number, so this can be produced for retail. They can sell this still. But this was one of the special. If you did the board game upgrade, this is all of the stuff. So additional abilities for the other factions. So Imperial, Brotherhood, and White Star, and then this is all of the missions and support materials that they produced as PDFs. So this is everything in print. And yeah, I guess that's why, because all the rule books and campaign books are to fit into the box or that square. So this big square box. Oh yeah, and there's the cover art from the core game. Nice. So I got the Brotherhood as well. Wow. Yeah. So this is everything. So as you can see, so Siege of the Citadel rulebook is. The rulebook is reprinted in here. So the rulebook and the mission book are in this hardcover. That's pretty cool because those floppy paper rulebooks do get damaged. So here's a reproduction of all of the print materials. This is great. So Siege of the Citadel rulebook, mission book, the crossover book. So it's going to give you sieging the system. Yeah, so how you can run everything. Wow. Run everything for Siege of the Citadel and Luna PD expansion, Brotherhood expansion, Dark Apostles, Dark Legion reinforcements, Hero expansion, White Star expansion, Heroes expansion, Broadcast, Epic, Mission Generator deck, how that works, Designer mission packs, Cartel campaign, mission guide, and the Development Diary. This is insane. This is really nice. Wow. Yeah, I'm so glad I went with that board game upgrade because this is nice to have everything reproduced, and this is much heavier paper. It's not so bright. The paper is a little bit the print's a little bit more diffuse, but really heavy pages. So yeah, a different paper stock, so not that gloss stock, but this is everything. So yeah, this is what we just flipped through with the core book. I'll just kind of jump through because we already looked. Yeah, that's the core book. And here's the mission book. All of the missions. You remember how they... Wow, yeah, it's a reproduction of everything. And the Kickstarter backer is memorialized again. So here is the crossover book. Yeah, so the crossover book will give you how to run... Yeah, there we go. So how to run it in the RPG. So here, if you want to use the tiles, your agility and physique will give you your movement in squares. So using the tiles for the for everything. All right. And then optional rules. Yeah, so this is for running. Yeah, so they're showing you how to use the tiles to run different parts of the RPG campaign. And this will be good for, probably for not all of the basic role playing and what you're doing, but for resolving combats. So when you have confrontations between big bads and kind of enemy conflicts, being able to use the tiles and then kind of tactically figure out cover and positioning, that'll help a lot for certain stages in the RPG. This is great. Yeah, so all the stuff they made available as it was produced as PDFs, but here is it all printed in one huge volume. There's Dominic killing the assassin. Yeah, this is great. All right, and here is a character sheet. So here's Laurie Faust's pre-gen. So this is a lot of support. Yeah, Vince Diamond's RPG. So this is the with the character sheet for the third edition RPG looks like. So here's all of the named characters with pre-gen character sheets. So all the Doom Troopers basically in Siege of the Citadel. Coral Beach, all has talents and background, and then the character sheet. This is really cool. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad I went for all of this. I didn't expect them to put everything together like this. This is nice. I mean, PDFs are fine. They're really portable, and you can look at them on tablets and laptops and stuff, but hard copies are really nice as well. This is so cool to have. So everybody's Mitch Hunter. Everybody's spelled out Big Bob Watts. Nice. Yeah. So kind of integrating, because, Modiphius produced both the RPG and then the Siege of the Citadel reboot, so kind of integrating those two products is a pretty good idea. And that's what I was looking forward to, is having miniatures for every named character in the and pre-gen in the RPG. Now we've got miniatures for everybody and their character sheets. So everybody that we looked at, this is them in the RPG. Oh, Sebastian Crenshaw. Nice. Oh, we've got it. Yeah, it's got to be in the Brotherhood. Brotherhood expansion has got to give us Inquisitor Nicodemus. Oh, yeah. Maria Castellanos. And here's the hacks for the equipment. Oh, nice. And some additional campaign. Yeah, so if if we're playing in a Citadel, so yeah, if we're going to have a, this is the black hack all spelled out. Cool, yeah, and the stat blocks and everything. Wow. That's nice, and they reproduce a lot of the classic art. Hey, K5, how's it going? We're opening a huge amount of board game right now. And this is connected to stuff we've been doing on the channel for Mutant Chronicles. So this is Siege of the Citadel, which was the biggest board game that they reproduced. And it's kind of the, the climax of everything that you would be doing in the RPG anyhow, because you would be playing as Doom Troopers and Freelancers and be confronting the enemy at its home, which would be these Dark Citadels. All right, so here's the Luna PD. So yeah, oh, there's the badge. Look at that. Yeah, they did a an enamel, or what is that? The kind of a metal and enamel badge as a promo for the original RPG Kickstarter. I wish I could find one of those. I totally missed the Kickstarter for the original RPG. So here's the Luna PD book. So we're gonna look at this again, and here, yeah. Here's what you get in there. So we've got 3 Doom Troopers for Luna PD. Wow. So we're going to see this book again when we get to that expansion. That's in the box. So I'll just flip through this quick. But yeah, here's missions for running Luna PD based. Oh, these are all, yeah, they're all marked as case files. That's cool. And here's the Brotherhood expansion. And here's, yeah, so you get, yeah, Nicodemus Crenshaw. Yeah, so everybody that we saw, you get those 3 Brotherhood characters. And then some more big bads. Oh, yeah, who are the, who are the enemies we get? So Templars, Twisted Marionette. Oh, that's right, yeah, the Heretics. Von Hall and the Zenithian Soul Slayer. Yeah, so everybody you kind of encounter in the that first Dark Symmetry campaign. Here's all the Brotherhood guys, along with the campaign for the Brotherhood, and oh, a reference for all the Dark Legion characters. Yeah, Valpurgius. Yeah, you get his miniature as well. That's really cool. So here's that. We're going to see those in the expansion, but this is it all together. The Dark Apostles, rules and missions. Wow, look at that. Yeah, oh, I can't wait to see these guys. Yeah, so here's all of the Dark Apostles. So those 5 symbols that you saw on that platform. So here's the Dark Apostles that they represent. Algaroth looks huge. Wow, so Movij, Semi, Algaroth, Demnogonus, and Ilion. Ilion is odd. Yeah, she's standing on her symbol. Yeah, we'll have to see what that pose looks like, because I can't tell from that that render. So yeah, the Dark Apostles, each of them have their own missions, and then Dark Legion reinforcements, more missions. Karak the Trickster. So yeah, there are. It's going to take a while before you're going to need to get to the mission generator. And the Heroes book, some missions and rules for more heroes. So Cardinal Duran expansion. Yeah, so we just saw Cardinal Duran, and so I guess they were combined. So the Duran expansion and the White Star were all in that board game upgrade. So here are missions for Duran. Oh yeah, and then here's Imperial Regina. Yeah, that was her. With the 2 swords lunging. So here's yeah, so that's what we saw there. So interesting. So they include that expansion, but the rules for them were available only PDF. So we didn't see printed versions of this in the board game upgrade. So the printed versions are only going to be here. There's Zarina, so rules and missions for her. So yeah, this is what we've just flipped through previously, and then yeah, and then we're going to see White Star, I think, in the next bonus pack, and then allies. Oh, that's right. There's Major Tang. Some missions for him and Sean D'Amato, the reporter. And missions for that character. Sock Puppet. Yeah, there he is. Another portrayal of him. And then an epic broadcast. Oh, this is the fiction that they did. The short story, I think, like novella. Yeah, that was produced. Yeah, the novella that they reproduced for the Kickstarter. So I got a couple of chapters of fiction to kind of immerse you in the setting. Yeah, they produced 3 novels for the original Mutant Chronicles. So, and those are still around. They're just in like mass market paperback, but they'd be cool. I don't know what's happening with the rights to those, but it'd be cool if they reprinted those, or at least release them digital versions, because I think they're only kind of floating around as paperbacks. So yeah, that's the novel that was produced. That you get a PDF for that, but it's in this book. And then bonus Kickstarter missions book. And here's more. So yeah, here's how to use the mission generator deck again. And then the designer's pack, which we think we opened up there. Giving you all of the some additional missions from the designers. Through VJ's Looking Glass. Yeah, nice. The designers gave some more. A cartel campaign. Big Trouble in Little Hamburg, 50 Shades of Darkness. These crazy designers and their missions. Citadel of Shadows. And then an ending. Nice. So yeah, everyone's kind of giving you a little campaign to progress through. And then the development diary. Oh, that's great. Wow. So more of the designers talking about what they worked on, and oh, that's very cool. Oh, look at these. Oh, this is great. Look at these original logo designs. Yeah, this is close to what more what the original look was. And yeah, so here you can see there's Blood Berets and the original. Wow, I haven't seen that Symmetry book before. And then original Mutant Chronicles, first edition RPG, and there is, what is that? That's Fury of the Clansman. Wow. So that's the Fury of the Clansman board game, which I've only seen floating around in German for sale. So here's, a drawing of the prototype for the original Siege of the Citadel. So here's the cardboard kind of construct I was talking about. They never produced this kind of three-dimensionality. So whatever they could, kind of fit in the box, they kind of came up with a toned down version of that. Look at that, Doom Troopers. These old logos are great. The fake metallic on everything. Valkyria Forces. Oh, great. There's layout for the original painting for the RPG. Some comics pages. That's very 90s. 90s comics look. And these awesome painted Paul Bonner cover art for all of the books. That's great. They reproduced all this stuff in here. Wow, this book is really great. I'm so glad that this was a... paper choice is a little odd, because when you're reproducing art, you may not be able to tell in the video, but it's not that vibrant. It's a little desaturated because the paper is pretty thick and not coated. It's uncoated paper. So nice. What's that, second edition cover? There's first edition wrapper on covers. Yeah, it's cool to see that whole art like this, because you've got it like this. This is the cover, and it's got graphics on it, and then you've got the back cover, and they're both distracted. It's sort of like the old D&D, Monster Manual and Dungeon Master's Guide Handbook. When you see the whole double spread of the cover, it's a lot more stuff. Nice. All right. Yeah, this is all the Paul Bonner art that was produced for everything. And then here is, so here, this is the gloss, the inner page is a little more glossy. So yeah, here's the cover art they did for the new version. Wow. So this is a very cool book. So look at that. Yeah, a massive collection of everything that was produced digitally for this campaign. Wow. So yeah, that's why that box was so heavy, but that's a very cool upgrade. Yeah, nice. All right, so let's get these cards safely stowed. And this feels pretty light. So this is the Doom Trooper bonus pack. So this might be, I'm not sure who's gonna be in here. Is this the White Star? Bonus, so it's giving us, because we've got 7 players total, or 7 factions total. Oh no, here we go. Oh, the chibi ones are pretty tiny, yeah. Here's our Murdoch chibi. Wow, I'm glad I didn't go all in with the chibi figures. They are pretty small. Not the big giant head of some of the other games, but yeah. So as you can see, they did a very anime kind of cartoony version of the characters, and they did everything. They did Dark Legion and a bunch of the Doom Trooper characters, so that's pretty funny. I wonder how popular those were. Well, they did their own their own add-on for all the chibi stuff that they produced. And I think they even did the Ezagul and stuff in this chibi style. So that's pretty amazing. And here's the, so that's the McBride. Oh yeah, so these are just additional. So McBride, Pam Afton, and then, so what is this for? What game is this for? Yeah, there must be something. Yeah, so one of the, you can use Murdoch in one of the maybe like that Super Dungeon Explorer or something. Yeah, some chibi-based game. You get a card for Chibi Murdoch. Oh, nice. Yeah, so it looks like Alakai. Yeah, wow. That's a nice, big detailed figure. Oh, very cool. Oh, yeah, here's the dog, and then this is this regular McBride, not Chibi McBride. Yeah, so there's McBride and dog. And what was that? Murdoch. No, sorry, Murdoch. Yeah, because Pride's dog. Oh, no, Mitch Hunter's dog. That's right. So Mitch Hunter's dog was a Kickstarter bonus. So there he is. And they give you a card. So he's kind of equipment. You can equip him. And then McBride's Blood Beret figure. I think we've got more tiles under here. Yeah, we do. Let's pull these out. Yeah, see, when they do the big vacuum tray for just the few figures like that, it seems like kind of a waste. But I guess that keeps, you're guaranteed that they're not going to be damaged or, anything that's extending off of them isn't going to be broken. All right. So, yeah, 65 and 66. 67 and 68. We are going to have a huge number of tiles. And then 69 and 70. Yeah, is that what? Yeah, well, we had some other ones from before were, in the 70s. So these might be for that designer's set as well. So plenty of tiles. Yeah, so that was just a few add-ons. So this was definitely like, Kickstarter add-ons. The pretty tiny chibi guys. Yeah, I've never seen the scale of the Dungeon Explorer, but I always imagine that the chibi figures would be bigger because they've got those giant heads. So that was the Doom Trooper bonus pack, which, was for the Kickstarter and probably for the Doom Trooper pledge, I think. Yeah, so, yeah, Doom Trooper pledge for Siege of the Citadel. So that brings us to the next part, which is going to be... Yes, yeah, so I'm going to be painting painting like crazy. Probably doing a lot more like washes and kind of simple. So for board games, like doing some flat colors, wash, and then a dry brush is probably enough, especially because like you saw, it's the same figure like, 10 times because you're just using them to kind of keep track of what's going on the board. So board game figures you don't get so crazy with, but the Doom Troopers though, you want them to look good because they are, named characters. So let's see here. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is the new cardboard piece that I was talking about. So let's pull this out. Yeah, so this was kind of produced by itself, and as you can see, so the frustrating part about this is because the original board game box was a very long, typical kind of board game style. Oh, so yeah, I've got an FDM, plastic, like PLA printer. Whoa, for right now. So this is going to be difficult because this is not going back in the box. Yeah, that sucks. Because they produced, they went with the square format box because it made it differently tile based, like a larger square but a different tile base. So I think this is one of the things for the Dark Legion pledge that you got. So this used to be included in the core box. So Siege of the Citadel used to include this. And so when you're setting this thing up, you've got that little vacuum tray. And then on top of that, you've got this guy. So I might just have to leave this set up all the time. So let me do it like this. So you've got this giant thing that sits on top of the board game. And so you're moving things like all around this. But this gives you kind of the techno, like dark techno nightmare of what the Citadel is actually supposed to look like. So as you can see, it gives you huge like height for the board game. So the tiles are sitting under here. So as you can see, a tile will fit in each of these quadrants. And so when you're setting up various parts of this, you've got this like big three-dimensional piece. And so for a board game in the 90s, this was insane. So the other one is the art style is a little bit different. It's not digital art, of course. And this is nice digital painted art. But the frustrating thing about this is it's not going to fit. I'm going to have to figure out some way to store this. So maybe get an envelope, like a rigid shipping envelope or something, and kind of keep this protected, because this is not going to fit in any of the boxes that they've given me so far. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, K5. That's very nice. Yeah, thanks for checking out this stream. This is going to go on. We're already at an hour and a half. So it's been 90 minutes and we've only gotten through the first box. And here's our little junctions. So our little hallways and T paths. And wow, yeah, I might as well just punch all of these out because I'm going to have to figure out a way to store all this. Yeah, so this is the beginning of the Dark Legion pledge. So all of this stuff must go for Dark Legion campaigns. But yeah, so this will give you connections between the boards. It's exciting to watch me punch out cardboard, isn't it? But yeah, so here you've got a lot more. Oh, they're all two-sided. That's cool. You've got a lot more, and they've all got the same square measurements on them for connecting different tiles together. So you've got a big variety of those. So that was just sitting right on top of the box. And the next part of that was these guys. So these might be the reprints. I think we've seen some of these numbers before. So there's 33 and 34. Yeah, maybe we've seen these. Oh, that's really cool. 35 and 36. Yeah, these look like stairs. Stairs leading up. 37 and 38. Yeah, very infected blood pits. Oh, there we go. There's an Ilion symbol right in the middle. Oh, that's great. So 39 and 40. Yeah, so these are definitely for the Dark Legion, the Apostles. So yeah, that's right. We're going to get to those, the miniatures for the Dark Apostles. We kind of got a preview of everything in that book. And there's 41 and 42. That looks very green and infected. And 44. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because I've got some, got so much cardboard from the shipping. I can make a little protector for this thing. But look at this. Yeah, that looks great. That's going to look really cool. So yeah, basically you're looking at these tiles and that kind of arch of dark technology on top. There's like 4 more boxes of this stuff. Yikes. I don't know how any of this is going to go back to anywhere. Yeah, storing this game, there's got to be it's going to be a bigger storage solution, especially for all these miniatures. All right, so here's the Dark Apostles. So we saw this book, or we saw this pamphlet, the few pages. Yeah, so here's our Dark Apostles. And just the little floppy version of those rules that we saw. Yeah, so those, yeah, there we go. So those are the Dark Apostles tiles that we just saw. And here, oh yeah, we can start with Ilian. Oh yeah, she's kind of like bending backwards into her weird pose, backwards and kind of casting. But you can see, yeah, she's standing on her symbol, so her base is her symbol. But yeah, nice detail. Yeah, it's just hard to tell from that render. Her pose, so she's like leaning back, and her gown is all very crazy looking. Nice. Here's Demnogonus. Oh no, this is Semi. Sorry, Semi is looking very. Whoa! Yeah, the cleaver is insane. Looking very brutal. And Morvige, the hooks. Yeah, the hooks are very Hellraiser. Nice. Then here's, wow, here's Demnogonus, the big infected. Look at that, yeah. That is huge. Yeah, that base, look at that base size. It's really gigantic, but look at the detail on him. That's crazy. A really nice decorated base, yeah. The base is looks really good, and it's heavy. And here's Algaroth with all of his... Wow, and the base, look at that, all the bones he's standing on top of. But yeah, look at all of his firepower. Yeah, this looks like it was based on the illustration that was produced for the RPG. Because there's a set of Paolo Parente Dark Apostle illustrations that I hadn't seen before. Yeah, I just found those online just recently. But they had another artist produce these for the RPG. So, yeah, here's all of our Dark Apostles. Wow. These guys look really good. And, of course, we've got campaigns and everything for them. And plus we've got more tiles underneath. So we'll see if those are reprints or not. I heard that there was a duplication. So here's, yeah, Algaroth's two-sided. Oh, same thing. So they're kind of powers cards. So Algaroth, Ilian, Semi, Demnogonus is huge, and Morvige. And then here's, all of their abilities. And then here we go, some powers: Armor of Soul, Black Carapace, Fury of the Razides, Necrobionic Celerity, Lord of Annihilation, Unfettered Destruction, Necrotic Weaponry, Dark Absorption, Dark Father's Blessing. Nice. Oh yeah, so there we go. These are all Algaroth. Wow, those were all Algaroth abilities. Apostle of War. And here we go. So that was all just Algaroth. And then here is Demnogonus's disease powers: Putrescent, Allure, Infected Weaponry, Embodiment of Decay, Herald of Pestilence, Symmetric Angular Disorder. Yeah, that's still Master of Pestilence, Debilitating Pox, Blessing of Demnogonus, Befouler. So all of his powers. Oh yeah, so this is the original art. So those miniatures are based on that art for the 3rd edition RPG, and so this is all Ilion's abilities. So Void Freeze, Harbinger of Darkness, Void Infusion, the Great Seductress, Lady of Eternal Misery, Dimensional Twist, Void Static, Defensive Uplink, Mistress of the Void, Mistress of the Hunt. So that's all Ilion. Yeah, for Protoss did a really gorgeous Ilion character design. I think that's what I used for the lore video. Yeah, really nice version. So here is Morvije. Warning, this Dark Apostle's presence is detected. Oh, cool. So yeah, there's all their powers. When active, when dealt, when discarded. Engineer of Chaos, Lord of Visions, Magister of Madness, Wavering Perceptions, Dark Visionary, Labyrinths of the Mind, Onslaught of Domination, Lord of Insanity, Haunting Stupor, Millstone. Nice. And here is Semi. Whispers of Depravity, Spur of Hatred, Web of Deceit, Master of Descent, the Puppeteer, Semi's Scything, He Who Is Sin, Herald of Spite, Tower of Malice, Promise of Greed. Wow. Yeah, that's great. They put all the symbol and the character art on each of the powers. And so I'm assuming under here is going to be more tiles. Yes. So, whoa, so something. Sorry, get that back in there. Yeah, so I'll do some better photos of some of these guys and maybe cut that in. Oh yeah, so these are maybe some reproductions or some reprinting here. Yeah, here's 44. Yeah, so let's see if I can keep these sorted out. So these were the ones that were done for the original package. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so here's 44. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what the error was. But yeah, so we have some duplication. So here's another set of these same tiles that we looked at. Yeah, I wonder what the error was. So yeah, here's two sets of that same. And it may just be that, you know, they're necessary to they had to do two sets of them, because if you didn't go with the Dark Apostles expansion, then you wouldn't have them. So something like that. So now we get to, so here's all of our Dark Apostle cards. All right, and now we have the Dark Legion bonus pack. So this is what you got as part of the Dark Legion pledge. So there's a Doom Trooper pledge, which was more basic, and then the Dark Legion pledge, which was everything. So here is, oh, there we go. Wow. So here's even more miniature goodness. So Dark Legion is giving you, yeah, oh man. Oh man. Yeah, so you're getting so the Mercurian Maculator. What is it? The Maculator? Yeah, he's the that big brute in that nice cover. What was that? Fighting Capital Forces. Who is that? This is crazy. Yeah, so here's Karak the Keeper. So yeah, the scale of these is insane. So the like normal human scale is like here, like up to where his hand is, or his cannon is. Gatling. Oh, it's really crazy. Wow. Golgotha. And Oh yeah, some more of the those strange what are they called? Oh, the defiled avatars, yeah. So a pair of defiled avatars. Nice. All right, and then the Metropolitan Prophet. Yeah, from that awesome Art of Luna with Crenshaw in it. So we get two of these guys. Wow, and then another Mishima. Who is that? The other Mishima character. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Yojimbo, yeah. So there's Yojimbo for Mishima. Nice. And we're getting... Who is that? Yeah, so here's a Bauhaus character, so maybe Heinrich Wolf and yeah, another Bauhaus who I'm not thinking of who that is. Let me see. So here's we've got two more Bauhaus options so that we're going to have cards for both of those as well. Wow. Yeah, but they did a great job. I mean, the detail for board game, it's much better than I was expecting for board game detail. So it's going to be, you know, very nice to use for an RPG too, because you're not going to be, it's not going to be so disappointing. Oh, here we go. That's right. Blue is our white star. So in this, so that if you did the Dark Legion pledge, then that also gave you the white star faction. So here's the Bone Hussar. And the other, so yeah, you got 4 options. Yeah, so this expansion is going to give, yeah, almost every faction 4 options for Doom Trooper characters. So here's all of our white star, everyone's favorite faction. Our additional white star characters. And, oh man, more, what are these, heretics? Yeah, these are the heretics. And now these are something even more horrible. Yeah, so the White Star faction. And who are these crazy? Yeah, additional guys. Yeah, these are very kind of hunted, very zombie-like. So yeah, a box of these guys. They must be in the... Oh yeah, and here's your blue pins. Your blue pins for your white star. So white star gets blue bases. Not white, because Mishima already took the light. Oh yeah, that's right, and this little tank tread dude. Yeah, so that must be for a Dark Legion. Yeah, who are these? Oh, the Techrons, yeah, right. So here's one of the Techron models. So we've got a whole box of these as well. For, I'm sure, a Dark Legion mission. Nice. Yeah, so here's White Star and, oh, our Luna PD cards as well. Wow. So yeah, it looks like Bauhaus made out well. Take a quick look. So who are these? Yeah, these are more... Oh, abilities for... Oh, Malignants, that's right. So the Techrons and then the Malignants are what those, like, zombie folks are. Cool, yeah. So Techron, Troop, Defiled Avatars, Malignants, Advance, Castigators, yeah. Castigators are the zombies. Metropolitan Prophet, Mercurian Maculator. And then we've got, yeah, that's who the Seeker Indigo is. So she was where? So the Brotherhood, yeah, what color did they give the Brotherhood? Oh, yellow. Is that the Brotherhood? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was, yeah, that's her. Yes. Nice. Yeah, so we've got some. So, yeah, Brotherhood Seeker Indigo, Attila III, Christos the Mystic, Yojimbo, Timothy McGuire, Heinrich Wolf, Sergeant Carter, and Jack Kramer. That's the guy from Golgotha, not the reporter guy. Yeah, Jack Kramer. Luna PD. That's him, and let's take a look at what else. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, the guys that we haven't seen are on the second layer here. So the Inquisitor and Mystic and everybody. So here's the more abilities. And everyone's favorite faction, White Star. So Friedrich Bronislav, Xavier Ivanov. Oh, yeah, so everybody. Yeah, so that's the White Star faction. Here's the Doom Trooper cards for the White Star faction. And then their abilities. By any means, show of force. And here come the reserve cards, rear guard. Dance of the Void. Dark Melody. The Plumber, Shotgun Upgrade, Time Bomb. Cull the Meek, Push the Limit. Rain of Steel, Call for Reinforcements. Honored Servants, Asymmetric Flux, Earthshaker. Vein-Stock for the Dark Mistress. Energy Pulse, Energy Sap, Spark Whip, Wrath of the Acolytes. Wow. Oh, these are more... Oh, Golgotha. Yeah, these are Golgotha's powers. That's why they're looking so dark. Yeah, so much dark symmetry. Yeah, so these are... So Karak and Golgotha also have cards, just like the Dark Apostles. Got their power cards. Gut Ripper, High Noon, Bring It On, Bellowing War Drums, Focused Aggression, Collective Frenzy, and then, yeah, those skill cards. Wow, so I'm going to have to maybe do a file and break everybody's cards up that way. There we go. So there's, yeah, here's our White Star. So here's our seventh dashboard, so that you can play White Star and the Brotherhood as well. And then here there's Kramer, and so yeah, here's the Jack Kramer that we just saw. And our sniper, nice, our Brotherhood, yeah. Brotherhood sniper. Oh, that's where it is. Huh. Yeah, and here's Attila. And another one of the Cardinals. Nice. And who else is this? Also, Sergeant Carter. Nice. And one more. Is this McGuire? That's like, yeah, Timothy McGuire. Cool. Yeah, so that's everybody. And are there going to be tiles at the bottom of this? Oh, there are. Oh my god. Yeah, so one more dashboard kind of stuck in there. And tiles. Wow. So literally I could probably fill one of these boxes with only tiles, and it would weigh about 15 pounds. Nice. Yeah, it's going to take a long time to get everything painted. Unfortunately, you can't play with everything at the same time, so I can do it in phases. So I can start with the core set. So 64 and 63. Wow, look at that. Lots of corrupted energy. 62. Wow, so we've got like 70 sides, so about 35 tiles. Wow. 60, that looks very outdoor. A helipad, 59. 58 and 57. Yeah, this is like Venus, maybe. 56 and 55. Yeah, they did still do a good job of marking all the walls and everything. And then 54, 53. Nice. Oh, this looks like Luna. This looks like Luna City, yeah. 52. Wow, that's an interior. And 51. Look at that mess inside some apartment building. 50 and 49. This is an interesting choice to put the number so dominantly. It's not too distracting, but it's an interesting choice because there's so many varied environments for the tiles, so it doesn't always make sense that there's a big number painted there, but it sure does make it very clear, where you need to be. And this looks like an office building. 48, 47. There's the roof. That's the roof of the building. So one of the big confrontation scenes, or actually your big boss fight in one of the first parts of Dark Symmetry campaign, is the roof of the apartment building. So I think we're looking at that apartment building that gets taken over. And these are the different floors of the building. Wow. Yeah, I'm really curious to play. I want to run this again then, using these tiles so these confrontations can happen differently, because there's each apartment in each room, there's different kind of surprises that happen. Wow. So that is a lot of our extra Dark Legion. So that gives us our white star. It gives us white star, and then a lot of the other characters. So yeah, everybody is up to at least 4 or 5 choices. Crazy. All right. It's not over yet. So almost 2 hours, and we haven't even come close to we've still got 2 more expansions. And these look like retail expansions. So these were done for the Kickstarter. So you can tell they got just thin little books, and they were in those brown paper boxes. Sorry about that. But here are expansions that are going to probably be at retail. So similar to the core box and stuff, they've got full art. So this is Luna PD. Wow. Oh, sorry. There goes the whole camera. I'll knock everything over. Oh, whoa. We've got different dice, too. So this has 14 Dark Legion figures. So this is everything that we were looking at before. Twisted Marionettes, Heretics, the LAPD, Luna PD. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Luna PD, Doom Trooper figures, Rules and Mission Book, the 4 double-sided sector tiles. 4 dread dice. There we go. So there's a dread mechanic now if you're going to play the Luna PD, which makes sense because you're not really Doom Troopers. You're just cops. You just beat cops and detectives, and you run into this building and shit's going down. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So this has a barcode. So yeah, this is ready for retail. So, but this is not a complete game. You need the core set to play this. This is just an expansion. So interesting though. This is going to be expansion for Luna PD, which I don't think is ever going to be a big enough force to be reckoned with that they're going to compete with a mega corporation. But all right. So there we go. That box is, it's not as glossy now with the plastic off. So here's the expansion. So we know what we're going to get. We've already seen this book in our big collection with all of the different incident reports and everything. But this gives you the characters that you have as pre-gens for the beginning of the RPG, so for the Dark Symmetry. Yeah, I printed out so much stuff too, maps and all kinds of crazy stuff for that first adventure. So I've still got, yeah, and I laminated everything, so I've still got all that stuff for running this. So yeah, and now we've got the miniatures and tiles to break up all the floors of the building. So there's our 3 detectives, Vance Ryder, and freelancers McBride and Officer Arseny. And then, yeah, then here's who you run into is Heretics, the Twisted Marionettes, Templars, Zenithian Soulslayer, and then Van Hole. Man, I wish I had one of those Luna PD badges. And here's who we were just talking about. So here's the Twisted Marionettes, which are just like these. So the whole building is like riddled with this like weird organic black cable. So it's like half organic, half machine and everything. So it looks like the wiring of the building is like crawling all out. And then here's your big bad kind of demon that you're confronting. And another dashboard. Yeah, so there's the 7th. So Luna PD, is that 7? That's 8. Yeah, it might be. It's at least 7 factions, because if you're including Luna PD as another faction, so we've got many dashboards. Wow. I'm definitely going to have to get some kind of card file for all this stuff, and then little dividers so I can break everything up and know what I have in and out. So here's the character. So there's Vance Ryder, and then Freelancer McBride, Officer Arseny, and then the horrible things that happen to them. Self-immolation, hidden explosive, acid trap, corrosive defenses, burst of static, unnerving energy, ominous tone, broken spirits, rattled nerves, mounting tension. Yeah, so you can see the icon for the dread mechanic. So we've got dice for that in here. And whole revealed. And then so heretics, marionettes, Templar cohort. Oh, the Soul Slayer, that's right. So the big bad is a Soul Slayer. And then the Puppet Masters. And Van Hole himself. The evil doctor that's the Dark Symmetry has corrupted and made him start experimenting on people. And then here's all of their stats and psychological research, mutated DNA recovery, eradication, DNA extraction, kinetic armor testing, Templar bounty, necrophage analysis. So yeah, your little objectives and your orange pins for your, yeah, so the blue pins for White Star. So that's 8. That's 8 altogether, because you've got Brotherhood, Brotherhood, Luna PD, White Star, and then the 5 core are 8 factions. Are there 8 colors? There's that many colors. Nice. Oh, there is a well-equipped agent of Ilion. Yeah, so that must be the Nephirite of Ilion. 2 of those guys with their big cannons and swords. Oh yeah, here's Von Howell's miniature. Nice. With his crazy white hair. And then our detectives, our freelancers, I guess. We've got a detective and 2 freelancers helping out. Yeah, so you can, basically, if you keep everybody leveling up at the same rate, they can do original, like, Luna PD characters or freelancers, and you can run this scenario. Oh, there we go. Here's our dread dice. So there's more symbols to learn, it looks like, on these guys. Nice. So it looks like some fight, some fear, and some demonic. Yeah, so these are exact same size as the the ones. So a dread mechanic, and all of the horrible. Oh, here's the heretics. It looks like. because you run into gangers in that building. Yeah, so, yeah, same sculpt, so it's this guy. Several times. Looks like 6 of these guys. So already the dark symmetry is taken hold. And then we just have one more deck of cards. Oh yeah, so Luna PD gets a quick start, so every faction gets their quick start card. So it shows you Detective Ryder and Officer Arseny, and then the turn order. So yeah, so they're considering Luna PD as big enough to be on par with the corporations. Oh, here's horrible damage cards. Oh man, broken arm, concussion, dislocated shoulder, gut shot, internal bleeding, ringing ears. Yeah, these are all damage. Nerve pain, trauma, rattled nerves, lots of injuries. And these are, here's the powers of the manifestation. Acidic, indomitable creature, cunning, doppelganger, electric field, firebrand, fearsome, final sacrifice, frenzied, juggernaut, leadership, marksman, noxious, poison barbs, rigid spines, shadowy, soulbound, tentacles. Wow. So that, yeah, the manifestation that happens that Luna PD runs right into. So coordinated maneuver, iron will, light blessed, darkness spurned, duck, genetic swap, mutational, backlash, sharpshooter, promoted, heroic rush. And then here's, oh wow, det cord, stabilizer leg implants, adrenal synthesizer, subdermal plating, acidic grenade, acid grenade, displacement field, tactical implant, high impact rounds, phoenix harness. What does that do? Wow. 3 reds. EMP grenades. So all weapons to use against. So I guess, yeah, there's a lot of cybernetics in there, though. Okay, so we'll pull this up. And surprise, surprise. Oh, good. Tokens, though. That's good. Because they're giving us a whole nother faction. So that makes sense. So you know you're on Luna because you've got wrecked cars from the 40s everywhere. So there's 32. Wow. 32 and 31. So yeah, this is Luna. This looks like, yeah, some disgusting underbelly of the building. Wow, we're losing all of our parts here. And here's, oh yeah, and here's all kinds of tunnels and things. So these are all fallen out. Oh yeah, so this is not a complete square. So 30 is actually a connecting part, as is 28 and 27. Yeah, so these are more corridors and not big one-piece tiles. So 26 is, yeah, this is all the apartment building and various horrible demolished parts. This looks like the lobby, yeah, because it collapses when you, I'm sorry, I'm spoiling this whole, spoiling the whole adventure, but nice, all the tokens, an LAPD sheet, yeah, and then we just have an art card here. But this is cool. This like gives you imagery, so like when you're fighting the marionettes, it's what that whole confrontation on the rooftop looks like. And this is what the war on in the Citadel looks like. Nice, but lots of lots of tokens and markers for the various effects. Wow, so that, yeah, Luna gives you a lot. That's a whole additional adventure. So you're not in a Citadel, like you're not on, you know, one of the distant planets fighting in the Dark Symmetries Citadels. You're actually on Luna in an apartment building as freelancers and cops fighting this first incursion. So chronologically, this happens at the beginning. This is like the first, once things start to go sideways for humanity. and the dark powers are released, this is kind of the first thing that happens, is you are just called to a strange situation happening in an apartment building, and then humanity realizes that stuff is pretty messed up. All right, so that was Luna PD. So a new mechanic in there because you're not playing quite the powerful war, like battle hardened war veteran Doom Troopers. You're cops and freelancers on Luna City, which is on the moon. Luna City is the moon. Oh, and the last, but not least, the most significant, the saviors of all humanity, at least according to them, the last expansion. So here's, of course, another expansion marked for retail. So this is the Brotherhood, and so we're going to have some awesome mortificators and different Inquisition characters in here. All right, there we go. So inside we've got our more characters for the Brotherhood. Oh man, this is great. All right, so 17 Dark Legion figures. Valpurgius, the Harbinger of the Void. Praetorian Behemoth is in here. Brass Apocalypse, Castilian Intruders, Curators, Algaroths, Malignants. Sorry. So 3 Brotherhood Doom Troopers, and the rules 4 tiles, 139 cards. Oh, so here they're giving you the light spells though. So the art powers for the Brotherhood. Yeah, so the Brotherhood harness this kind of psychic ability with this mental kind of psychic power that's special to them. So it's the dark gifts. If you're kind of servant of the dark symmetry, you have dark gifts, which are these evil kind of powers of darkness, but the powers of light are called the art, and the Brotherhood from the Duran brothers have learned that. So we've seen this. So here's what we're going to be looking at for the 3 Brotherhood Doom Troopers. So here's our 8th dashboard. And then the big boys from this campaign. Nice. Hey, how's it going? Yes, split shipping as well. That's great. Yeah, all of this new stuff is insane. Yeah, so this is the last expansion that we've gotten to. So this is basically everything that they produced except for the chibi figures. So they did some chibi versions of everything, and I just couldn't, especially because the shipping was insane for and I thought I was saving, because I could have broken things up into 2 waves and gotten the core box 2 years ago, and then had the had all of this supplementary stuff, that second box that we opened, all that second wave stuff come now. But instead I had it all come at the same time, and it saved a little bit of shipping, but it was still ridiculous. It was still very painful. Yeah, so we've already seen, here's the Dark Ritual setup. Yeah, so that's right. That's cool that you can solo this, so you can play, a whole faction yourself. And like you saw, they have the AI deck that will run the Dark Legion for you. Yeah, and all this stuff too works with the RPG. So, oh man, look at that. I wonder why maybe the circular base would have been too huge, and they want to show you how many squares he takes up, so that's why they're doing a square base. That makes more sense though too, because a circular base, you'd literally be in 4 squares. Oh man, look at that Praetorian. That is even bigger than the one in the base game. That's insane. These are great. These are really going to be fun to paint, and then fun to add nice visuals for for both the board game and the RPG. Oh, here's Valpurgis. Nice. Yeah, it's funny. They do, like, they have Algaroth in the first edition. Valpurgis is on the cover of the Algaroth kind of supplement book, the setting book. And so there's no pictures of Algaroth in the Algaroth book itself, just his minions. So here's a Brotherhood. Looks like our big... Oh, I should pull the cards out. There we go. Oh, geez. Even more. Yeah, so here's our 3, basically, Doom Troopers for the Brotherhood. Oh, they're really nice. Okay, that sword, that's the first one I've seen that's a little bendy, questionable. That's too bad, because that's a really cool... It's a really cool character, and her spear could use some help too. So these guys didn't get... They got pulled a little too fast out of the molds. Nice. Yeah, and a little bit of repetition. I mean, it's a board game, though, so it's so repetition of sculpts is kind of standard because you're just representing. It's not like you need a you're not building a diorama. Whoa, of any of these guys. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, very cool. Some more Dark Legion. And here's our pinkish purple. That's not quite the same color, is it? Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a pinkish purple. This is a hot pink, and then the rest of them are kind of purple. They didn't get quite the same plastic. And here's our... Yeah, corrupted guys. Who are these? I skipped my guide to the Dark Legion here. Oh, the Malignants, that's right. So here's the Algaroth Malignants, and those previous guys were the Curators, that's right. So, nice. And so, yeah, there's, again, 6 of the same sculpt for this. Oh, yeah, so that's Crenshaw. So Crenshaw is the guy with the big blade here. Yeah. Oh, man. That sucks. His sword is not quite... not quite doing as well. I was really surprised that core box, all the minis are perfect. That's really rare. I've had some board games come with some really melted, kind of falling off their bases, not even standing up straight. So here's Crenshaw and Nicodemus. Yeah, Nicodemus is the book, the guy holding the book here. Nice. And Maria Castellanos. So here's our Brotherhood Doom Troopers. And then their abilities. Oh, this the Dark Legion. Sudden movement, corruption, out of the shadows, resilient, traitor, trip, confused direction, suspicion, wave of hopelessness, distraction, weapon malification, corrupt equipment, friend or foe, encouraged growth, pain, agony. So all the Dark Legion. Inspired cowardice, says Valpurgis' abilities. Inspired cowardice, corrupted device, dark rage, symmetry infusion, soul ripper touch, flow of death, black fire, touch of symmetry, acidic Bible. Wow. Shifting shadows. And that's all of him. And then... yeah, just the other abilities of the... so honeyed darkness, powerful infusion, twisted fate, shadow armor, reality twist, dark boon, apostle favor, dark mirror, void speed, cloaked darkness, dark destiny, dark potency. Yeah, more adrenaline spike, insidious regeneration, and rift walker. The bronze grimoire. So here's equipment for the Brotherhood. Silver grimoire, gold grimoire, castigator, power spear. Yeah, so that's what she was holding. And the erector machine gun, staff of ages, power controller, penitent sight, symbol of light, force shield, force blaster, Artifact Hypnosis, Artifact of Hypnosis, Spellfinder, Artifact of Brilliance, Exorcist Gloves, Icon of Protection, Icon of Cleansing, Icon of Shielding, and then their abilities. Whoa. And I'm guessing there are some tiles under there. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to have just a box of tiles. Okay. So here are the the cards for Brotherhood. So Cleansing Light ability, Zeal, Share the Burden, Blinding Light, Banished, Secret Cartel Cache, Twist of Fortune, Litany of Purification, Dash, Protection. Yeah, so those are all Brotherhood abilities. And then we have Double Dealing, Deal You Can't Resist, Infected Ammo, Displaced, Symmetry Rip, Dread Doctors, oops, Dark Reflection. Well, I'm getting a lot of reflection out of this these cards. Fruits of Their Action, Harbinger, Brings the Void, Valpurgius Rises, and then the reinforcement cards. Algoroth's Cohorts, lots of them. Castilian Terrors, Callistian Terrors, Brass Terror, Curators, Brooding Hordes, Scouting Group, Something from Beyond, Doom Portent, Valpurgius Revealed, and then Swiftness. Are these the, these are the Brotherhood, the arts, the gifts. So Brotherhood characters can use Swiftness, Push, Exercise Dark Influence, Cleanse, Pulse, Exercise Taint, sorry, Luminosity, Resolve, Focus, Distortion, Singularity, Hypnosis, Compel, Seeming, Inferno, Lightness, Searing Light, Weakness, Barrier, Teleportation, Overkill, Rush, Blinding Light, Illumination, and then the objectives. So Living on the Edge, High Roller, Set the Example, The Purge, Hey Old Friend, Last Aid, and Solo Tactics. Yeah, so I hope these are all marked by what they include. Yeah, wow. So lots of objectives. So here's so all of the miniatures for the Brotherhood expansion, and finally the tiles and tokens. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so glad you stopped by to see the stream. Now, I've been waiting for this forever, so this is so happy. I'm so happy to see everything and for it to be produced as well. I knew from seeing what the core game looked like. And I would anybody that's just got the core game that's waiting for more. The cards have a different coating. They're much nicer. So they did an upgrade, I think. The expansions and all of the supporting cards, not in the core set, are produced a little bit nicer. They've got a heavier coat on them, and they are a little bit more. They up the quality a bit. So maybe they, for that first run for the core set, I noticed the core set definitely needs to be sleeved because they're thin and feel a little fragile. But these cards from the expansions are really nice. So here's our tokens and our so our Brotherhood tokens, I think, for initiative and everything is here, and all the markings that will go. So these are 3 of the same token sheets, and then our there we go. So 17 and 18. Oh, that looks like a inside a cathedral. And 19 and 20. Yeah, we're definitely in a Brotherhood cathedral. Look at that. All the markings. Oh, and the windows. That's pretty cool. So you can see the stained glass of the windows has a Brotherhood symbol in it, and it's casting that light. That's a pretty good illustration, a pretty good effect they did. And then 21 and 22. Yeah, we're inside a cathedral interior. And 23. Oh, but that's great. But there's a Dark Legion or Dark Symmetry mark. So someone is worshipping inside the cathedral, some dark powers, and some pretty bloody looking rooms. There's 24. Nice. So yeah, these look like they're vaults. So they're in some sort of basement, but there's already been corruption inside. So you can already kind of tell what's going on in this this campaign just from the good storytelling they did on the tiles themselves. Wow. So we did it. We did it almost 2.5 hours, and we did it. And we still haven't gotten to show off these the miniatures in as much detail as I'd like. I just kind of held stuff up to the camera, but I'll do some turnarounds. Maybe just do a whole series, just like sit and put them on a turntable and do turnarounds of the miniatures and just pop, the unit names and character names on there. So one thing that I'm still not sure of is what were all those unit cards that we had at the beginning that were like the sea lions and everything. Yeah, I wonder what those were for, because they looked like basically Warzone. They didn't have stats on them, but they were like Warzone cards. I'll have to take a look and see what they called those in that expansion. But yeah, there were a bunch of cards for each faction that were showing like special units, and don't know what those were. But these are, yeah, really, really great minis. I'm really glad to see that they did a nice job getting everything, bringing everything to reality. Because like I said, when you look at those renders, you have no idea what that's going to look like in plastic. And a lot of the times it looks a little, you think it's going to be a little soft, like you're going to lose the detail. But the material that they used and how everything was cast looks very decent. Like there's not a disappointing miniature in the bunch, and like I was saying, they brought them down to that human scale. So and even though they are reproducing some very fantastic art and characters, it seems like they kind of brought them to a more normal scale, but you still know they're still recognizable from the Paul Bonner art and everything. But Big Bob Watson isn't like crazy overscaled, or like I was saying, Vince Diamond isn't that like bursting out of his skin with the musculature. Like he looks like a realistic human scale. So that's nice. It makes it fits with what they're doing with the RPG as well. So yeah, they had to make that choice. I had to figure out kind of which way to go, and I think that works. I think it works pretty well. Yeah. Valpurgis is looks excellent. Yeah, I can't wait to see. Let's take a look at him again. Yeah, even in his cape, he's got these skulls going on. Where's the camera there? Yeah, he's got these skulls appearing in his cloak. Yeah, really well done. Yeah. And he's got his own abilities and cards and everything, so it's going to be, really fun to see how this all plays out. Wow. Well, we have 8 of these dashboards, so I have to find 7 other people that want to play. So I think, what do they say for the range? I think it's like 5 maximum, right? So even though you've got 1 to 5, so even though you've got 8 factions, I think 5 players is the most you're going to get away with. And that might even, I guess that means 5 players, including the kind of rotating Dark Legion control. Wow. So this is everything. It was only, what is that? 150 minutes of unboxing. So this is easily the most anticipated game that I've been waiting for the longest amount of time, and it's only because Second Wave was so delayed. So this, I think this literally got delayed 2 years. It was possibly going to happen. I was thinking that it might happen Christmas time of 2019. They seemed to be saying they were pretty sure of that, and then it got delayed until into 2020, and then of course we know what happened to China in 2020, and then cascaded to the rest of the world. So this got delayed again. So finally in 2021, when I think the original campaign was early 2016. Wow. Yeah. Oh no, the funding, 2016. So this ran from September to October was the funding period of 2016, and 5 years later, we are now looking at the finished retail version of all of this. Yeah. But they produced a lot of great stuff. I mean, all the support materials, it's basically, they were able to do miniatures for everything that they'd also produced for the RPG. So that's great. I mean, you literally have a miniature for everything in all of the campaigns, for everything that they've worked on for both the RPG and now the board game. So, and that's nice too, because if you want to play in the Mutant Chronicles universe, there's going to be people that are not going to fall for an RPG. You're not going to be able to talk them into an RPG, but you probably will be able to get away with getting them to play a board game in that same setting. And so you won't have, won't have the same sophisticated kind of mechanics and role play, but you're going to have some really fun, board game, kind of card dice rolling and card experience. So yeah, I can't wait to see how all of this goes. And yeah, literally, I wonder if I'll look through that collected book again and see if there's, so there, you can chronologically, because you might want to start before you do Siege of the Citadel. You might want to start with Luna PD and kind of work your way up to Siege of the Citadel. So the actual core game would come after, things kind of expanded and people were revealed, apostles, showed themselves. And so you'd get to Siege of the Citadel, and then the Dark Apostles would probably be the last campaign. There's got to be like a chronology to it that would match the chronology of the setting itself. So as they discovered the steel tablet, Dark Symmetry was released, like things, so you'd follow everything kind of chronologically. That could be pretty fun. So in a board game, you could literally play the setting. You could play the timeline of the setting and encounter all like the major events that happen in the setting. And then when the new version of Warzone comes out, then we'll be able to play, in the Second Corporate War, the second Dark Legion War, and wow, there's a lot. There's going to be a lot to do in the Mutant Chronicles setting. But I think I'm most impressed with that. I don't know when they came up with that idea for that book, but that was brilliant, to take everything they produced, all of these, so every single one of these little paper pamphlets, that they produce for each of the expansions, the core rules, the rules for the core set, all of the campaigns, everything in a hardbound, saddle-stitched book, including designer notes, designer campaigns, and history of the board game and everything. I mean, that's great to have that all in one place. And not only did they do that, but they gave you rules for converting to the RPG, and a novella in there as well, short fiction, or a fiction treatment of the setting. That was a brilliant. Those are the kind of things that only like Kickstarters can produce, because they would never, bother running something like that through a printer for just, maybe someone would buy it in support of a board game. But this is quite a board game. So I can't get everything that I unboxed back on this table. It literally won't fit, but this is insane. This is an insane amount of miniatures. But this setting, I mean, I love this setting, and it's really fun that this has finally happened. So we've got one more. So I think part 7 in our lore series is going to be the Second Corporate War, Second Dark Legion War, and that leads you into the time period for Warzone. So the Warzone miniatures game is taking place after the kind of conclusion of what they call the first chronicle. So in the lore series, we're going to finish the first chronicle, and that's basically how far the RPG has gotten. There is the Dark Eden setting, which I think is post that chronologically, but we will finish like the standard basic timeline up through the first chronicle with part 7. So take a look in the description text of this video if you want to see the playlist. So the first 6 parts of the lore for this setting we did. This is very glaring. We did a 6 parts of a lore video to kind of get you up to speed to, you know, where all of these things are taking place and where all of this is happening. There's one more part of that, and then we'll do like faction focuses, or like, you know, focus on individual mega corporations, and then also like named characters, like, you know, do all of the kind of named characters and the major events will be fun to do. So, you know, basically like, so go back through the Brotherhood and go back through Bauhaus and everything, and talk about especially the characters that they name in as Doom Troopers and in Siege of the Citadel. We'll kind of give you descriptions and history of those individual names, because they keep coming up, you know, throughout the board game and also the RPG. So give you some idea of how those all those settings work. I'm so glad they did backs on these cards, so it's easy to keep them sorted out. I just hope there's in some of these cards, like the objectives and things, I hope that there's symbols that are going to tell us like which expansion they're used in, because once I get enough of these cards mixed together, it's going to be tricky enough. Yeah, but it should work well. Wow. So that's it. I did it. Man. Yeah. Really happy to finally see all of this actually happen. Yeah, I mean, literally, it's been 5 years. I think that's the longest I've waited for a Kickstarter that actually happened, because we knew this was happening because, you know, the core set came out, and so we knew this was eventually going to happen. And this actually was shipped from Australia, so they must have had to like get the core, then the expansion stuff together for this second wave, and it came from Australia. So usually a lot of this stuff comes straight from China in Japan, so we get it pretty fast. But that also means that you know, any disruption in the supply and things are just going to be stuck in China. So yeah, I think the core sets were sitting in warehouses in Australia, at least for this part of the world. And so I got a notification that some big package was coming from Australia, and this was it. And I suspected, because somebody else very early on in the Mutant Chronicles Facebook group, they posted their unboxing of just the second wave, not all of these expansions, but the second wave of stuff that they had gotten. But this was everything. Yeah, so the only things you guys have not seen now would be the chibi miniature versions of like Dark Legionnaires and things like that, which I don't think anybody needs to see. I don't think that's an inappropriate use of chibi design. Yeah, I'm surprised though. The scale was a little small, so that must be like Super Dungeon Explorer or something. I'm not sure. I didn't recognize the stats on those cards. But it must be, yeah, it must be for something like that. All right. So there we go. There's our core set, our base game, Doom Troopers. And there, wait, let me do the cover of the box. There we go. So many books and so many. So that was the entire. So that's the entire Dark Legion pledge for Siege of the Citadel. So this is all second wave. So all the core stuff and then all the Dark Legion stuff came at the same time. And like I said, it was about 30 pounds of board game. Yeah, great. Oh, thanks for listening. Yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching all of this happen. So Cabinet. Oh, you can't see that's on my camera, but Cabinet Games is the rights holder for all Mutant Chronicles. So hopefully we'll see more. Yeah, we'll see more of that coming, and I'm really curious to see what the new version of Warzone is going to look like, because it'll be great to see Mutant Chronicles miniatures on sprues again. That'll be excellent. So thank you so much for joining me, and this this has been one hell of an unboxing. I don't think I'm ever going to do an 2.5 hour unboxing ever again. This is the biggest board game that has ever needed something like this to happen. But really good. So I'll do some probably a separate video, unless I am going to like re-edit this, a separate video and do miniature turnarounds, so you can see details for everything that they produced. So that'll take a while, but that'll be a really nice kind of visual record of everything that they made for this game. And so you can see all the detail and see how most of the stuff doesn't need any sort of repair at all. Yeah, they did a nice job with that. And I am, after seeing what the one guy posted, I'm really tempted to put these guys on clear acrylic bases, because you saw how nice the tiles looked for that. So that was a really clever idea. So to put them on like 30 mil, like 32 millimeter, it looks like 32 millimeter bases, and then just do an edge. So if I do end up painting all of these guys, that might be a thing to do, at least with the Doom Troopers, and then just do texture on the basis for all the Dark Legion guys. But yeah, one of the few guys that needs a little hot water, but still, look at that detail. They turned out really well. Yeah, nice. So that's been it. That will do it. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna keep all these cards organized. But and that might be a thing worth doing in a video later, is like a good way to organize this stuff. Like once I kind of come up with an organizational system for how to keep all these cards and tokens and everything under control, that might be a good thing to show off. Because so I've got three actual boxes like this, and then a bunch of brown cardboard. So we'll see how that works. Wow. All right. So I think it's time to get something to eat, or at least get a drink. Oh, man. So this has been the biggest unboxing in the history of this podcast and YouTube channel. So thanks so much for hanging out with me and making it through this. I hope that this gave you a little look at what was going on with this game. And if you hadn't seen this game before, they still have, so now they have, okay, so it's not live yet, but if you go to the Kickstarter page, as soon as these actually or maybe arrive at their warehouse, there's going to be places to order on the web store. So it's not going to be everything you saw here, but I think everything that's in this full retail packaging, so the core game and then the Brotherhood and Luna PD expansions are going to be orderable, or able to be ordered God damn, on the Modiphius website. So keep an eye out for that. if you're interested in the game. And yeah, I would definitely recommend just the core game. There's a lot of fun there because it's kind of the dynamic of the game is kind of endless waves. You've got an objective, and you land there with a couple of Doom Troopers or a couple of teams of Doom Troopers, and you have objectives you have to secure, and just, you're not. I mean, some objectives are kill everything, but a lot of the times you're getting overrun, and you just got to get the hell out of there, and whatever you need to achieve, to get your promotion points to take you to the next part of the campaign. So there's a really nice kind of run and gun dynamic to this board game, and it matches the setting, the kind of diesel punk techno fantasy. It matches that really well because there literally are like endless hordes of these demonic soldiers, and so you have to just get to the exit, secure your objectives, and get to the exit. So yeah, it's fun as hell. It's really good it's really good fun. So yeah, and yeah, I'll do a comparison video also with I think it'll be fun to look at the two sets of miniatures and everything. It'd be great to see together. But all right. So everybody take care. And yeah, Joe, K5, it was good to see you guys. And thanks for everybody new that that caught on to this stream. I'll get this back on the channel as soon as possible. And yeah, take a look at the lore series. And in the comments, like, let us know anything that you'd want to see more of or recommend for this this setting, because yeah, Mutant Chronicles is our big focus recently. So more Mutant Chronicles content to come. So that is it for now. This has been Siege of the Citadel, the biggest unboxing that this game is probably going to get. It's there was a lot of work. This is a lot to open and a lot to get through. But you've seen every single card and every single miniature that they have made at this point. So good job, Modiphius. I mean, this was not a simple project, and I like the commitment that they've shown to this this property. It's great that they've supported this as much as they have. And this was their first the first RPG that they did that I really noticed. The 2D20 Mutant Chronicles was the first RPG of theirs that I really noticed and enjoyed. So it's been really fun to and that was about just after, so that was 2016 that RPG Kickstarter happened too. So good job, you have finally done it. So yeah, and yeah, I cannot compliment them enough about the quality and how they handled this production. And they did it. They didn't give up, because it would have been very easy to just say, guess what, core box, that's all you're going to get, because we have had hell. We have had nothing but hellish dealings with the Chinese, and now there's a pandemic that's pushed this back even further. So thank you so much. Yeah, Chris Birch at Modiphius. I'm so glad that you're a fan of Mutant Chronicles, because this was great to see this come to reality, come to fruition. And I'm glad we have a second edition of Siege of the Citadel. So that's all for now, and we'll be back again with some more content. Keep a lookout for part 7 of the Complete Mutant Chronicles. And thanks for watching. So be back again, and goodbye for now.